everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Just one moment. Just one moment. I have an interesting topic today for you. So as I was going through the letters and requests, I'm in a mood today for something lighter and more fun and playful. And so I picked up the video or the video topic was one of the men asking me if he would be treating his if he keep treating his Russian Ukrainian lady with like a princess, as they say, um, further on, would he spoil her? I'm gonna say this again so everybody understands. So one of my subscribers was asking me, Veronica, if I keep treating her so well, if I can keep complimenting her and spoiling her with little things and sometimes big things, will she turn into a monster, or will she appreciate me the most? Will I stand out this way? And what's going to happen? And I felt like that would be such a great topic to talk about because we're going to talk about mental aspect of it, emotional and practical. Okay, so we can learn a lot from this question. I thought it would be helpful and a little bit lighter. I'm sure every one of you is tired from TV and all of this. First of all, can you guys hear me? Or am I too far? Can you guys hear me okay? Because I don't know if internet is breaking up. Hey Bill, can you hear me? Hey Wayne. Can you hear me well? All right. Check out my fancy dress. Loud and clear. Awesome. Okay. And my pool. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. So let's get right into it because guys, I am on vacation. It means I have very little time to record the videos, but I do appreciate your support and I want to share. By the way, if you are watching after the live and you wanted to give a compliment or you wanted to give a little super chat but you couldn't, so after the video ends, under the video is going to be an upload button. YouTube uh, enabled my upload button, so you can send a little super chat after the video if just that was your favorite video or you really enjoyed it. So I'm just sharing this with you because I didn't know about that. Thank you, Mark. Let's see. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into the topic. And since um, I'm seeing some lovely compliments, so I'm going to start with that. So why is this? When we meet somebody, we appreciate them, we compliment them, we are generous with them, we are not afraid to spoil them, right? I'm gonna answer Mark's question. Let me see if I can, maybe this way, let's see. So, when we meet somebody, no, actually I'm gonna put it back because the light is better. Okay, back to the point. So, how is that? And guys, please, I want this to be very engaging. Please don't be shy do not be shy to contribute and share your thoughts, okay? So what is that? When you meet somebody, you really admire them or you really like things about them, you're not shy to make compliments, you're not shy to encourage them, you're not shy to acknowledge them. But then, as time passing by, you think, well, maybe I shouldn't be so generous, maybe I should hold back a little bit so they don't get a big head, or they will not take me for granted. I do understand that there is a fine line. We will talk a little bit today about the difference between, Russian mentality and um, Russian Ukrainian mentality and Western mentality, right? So I do know that in Western culture, if the guy goes overboard, a lot of times women would think he is desperate. If the man comes, wearing a nice dress, oi, nice dress, you can tell I'm on vacation. If the man comes dressed nicely, he brings the flowers, or he arranges things in a beautiful way. Sometimes in American culture, women do not expect that so much in Western culture, and I've heard and I've saw that happening where if you are this gentleman guy, there are certain kind of ladies that would kind of make fun of you. Well, not in Ukraine. If we talk about the practical side of things, um, I cannot agree with the statement of if you go extra mile, uh, if you just being a gentleman, if you being helpful, if you showing generosity in all the ways that you can show it, the last thing that the lady would do, the last thing that the lady would do is to make fun of you. Once again, the last thing that would be on her mind is to make fun of you. She's gonna be amazed and she's gonna thoroughly enjoy this experience. So I think this is one of the differences between the cultures. I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna put some bubbles, just because I want to. I think that one of the major differences between the countries is that Ukrainian, Slavic, Russian women would never make fun of you because you went extra mile, because you were a gentleman, and especially if that is who you are, you going to stand out compared to all the other guys, because that is rare. So, and this is how I would like to show my appreciation for the men who actually always have their game high, have high standard, and not just because there is a woman around. They just like that, It's not a bad idea to have high standards in life, right? There is nothing wrong with it. If you just put on a role, that is different. But we're talking about genuine men, and I think one of the reasons why a lot of men really appreciating, dating or getting to know. Let me see. Just a second, guys. Dating or getting to know Slavic ladies is because you feel that you can execute your manly, masculine qualities and traits. You're not going to be judged, you're not going to be ridiculed, you're not going to be made fun of. That for me it was truly fascinating when I realized that this is what happens often. So if we take the practical part, going to beautiful places, some little gifts, or some big things, whatever that might be, that is the part that is wonderful and important. And I don't think that should stop after that the lady you are with, after that she gravitates toward you, or you are in a committed relationship. I don't think that should ever stop, because now we are official, so we no longer going on dates, we no longer going to spas, we no longer travel, we no longer making compliments, we no longer making breakfast for each other, we no longer making massages and candles. So that should not stop. And no, absolutely not. You cannot ruin a beautiful person with spoiling. If you see that your lady, when you spoil her, maybe you send her some, whatever you do, maybe you support her financially, maybe you send her some gifts, maybe you treat her to some nice places. If she treats you worse after this, let me tell you, that is not your lady. Once again, if the lady you are with, her attitude changes after you treat her, that is not your lady. So that tells you that early on, this is not your person. True Ukrainian woman, feminine woman, or any other woman, when you go above and beyond and you treat her well, she will have a special value for you inside of her heart, because we all grew up on fairy tales. I want to say this again, all Ukrainian, Russian girls, unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, because I think that you should always believe in the most beautiful things, then they have a chance of happening. But really, most of Ukrainian, Russian girls, post-USSR girls, we grew up on fairy tales. And I personally am not the exceptions, and sometimes it hurts to see the reality that, or when your friends tell you, well, you're describing a nice man over here, but I have something to tell you, he does not exist. So a lot of Ukrainian women still quietly believe in chivalrous, generous men, generous in all the ways, and we're gonna talk about emotional and mental part in just a second. So if she finds one, not only she's not, or more like he find her, not only she's not gonna call or make fun of him, but she's gonna pick up her phone and tell all her girlfriends about that. Whether it's subtle things or it's some bigger things, it doesn't matter what it is. When the good woman connects with a man who shows appreciation every step of the way, when he shows respect, and when he is he really feels her fulfillment through he really feels his joy through her fulfillment, through her happiness, in all the ways, she's gonna put a special value on him. Once again, this is where you call your girlfriends and say, hey, guess what, I'm doing this. It's, some ladies are like this, some ladies keeping these things to themselves, but by no chance they will devalue you for that, or by no chance they will get ruined if you spoil them. And with that being said, I want to say, Bill, thank you for spoiling me on my live chats consistently, and I want to thank you for a lovely super chat. Bill is saying, oh, those bubbles get me every time. Thank you. Well, you know what? We need some love and light here. Thank you. So on this channel, we're gonna have a mix of things, mix of the serious things and mix of kind of fun and light things, and just learning about each other, right? So that's why you're watching my channel, as far as I know. So now let's talk about the emotional side of it. This is even more important than any gifts, and I will explain you why. At some point you have a lot of things that you want, and let's say you just have financially or materialistically, you have almost everything you ever wanted, but there is that emotional, mental connection that also, part of the question that I got from a subscriber was, do I keep praise her? Do I keep compliment her? Do I keep, tell her, how beautiful she is and all the other rare qualities that she displays? And my answer would be absolutely yes. You absolutely cannot ruin a woman by showing your appreciation. And it's not just some uh, over sweetened buttery butter compliments, but that is seen into her heart and acknowledging some things, sometimes even understanding some of your vulnerabilities, some of your struggles, and being able to show her that you see her, you feel her, and that you do not overlook your tremendous value. You will never ever ruin a good person by giving them a boost and encouragement, appreciation. If the person gets ruined or spoiled, they were like this to begin with. I'm gonna say this again. If the person gets ruined or spoiled, it means that they were like that to begin with. And that is your answer if you wonder, that is your answer to all of your questions. If you get it early, you save your time. So what do you guys think about it? I want to look at some comments. And while I'm doing this, thank you so much, everybody, for the kind words. Exactly. Frank is saying, trying to give money to an authentic Ukrainian Russian woman is like tease. Exactly, because it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. If you want to help financially to special women, you don't, there is elegant way of doing it, and she will appreciate it. But if you will be asking questions like, do you need money, how much do you need, she's going to shut down. She's not gonna tell you numbers or whatever. It's just weird. So if you want to help or support, do it in a fun way, in a beautiful way. If you ask directly, you're just gonna put the person in uncomfortable position, because she understands that if you really want to do something for her, you almost not gonna ask your permission. Like, it's funny, but you almost gonna force it into her, but not really force it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, no more like. You know what I'm saying? It's just you do something. If she does not want it, she may not accept it. That's the thing. The lady she always has a right to say no. Sometimes if you go overboard, or she feels that your expectations are too high, she may ask you some questions and she may not accept it. She may say, no, thank you. I won't be able to accept this gift. But coming back again to the other side, the emotional and mental side, I can't say enough how much in my personal life and life of people that I know and work with, people encounter this devaluation. It's almost like people to certain extent enjoy to devaluing the person they once loved. Less and less you start appreciate them, notice them, doing little things for them, giving them just whatever encouragement or compliment or appreciation. It's almost you do it for somebody you barely know, and then somebody who maybe gives birth to your child, or somebody who works hard or stick with you in a difficult situation. Sometimes this happens, and women just losing their femininity because they run like a squirrel in a wheel. You know this expression? Okay, I think I'm gonna you guys know this expression, squirrel in a wheel? So when a lady becoming a squirrel in a wheel, she's no longer feminine. So answering the topic of this video, right? Okay, this is really dark. I'm going back to bubbles. I think bubbles make it lighter. And it's, guys, the sun is going down. I'm gonna show you a little bit maybe of my view, maybe not. um, I do believe that there is no way to spoil the lady that wears it, and her character will change and she will be ruined. I know there are many women hating channels and all of that, but try to, if you have a beautiful rose in your garden and you use the best ingredients for the soil and it has sun and water, that rose bush is going to thrive, it's going to blossom, it's going to be the best, the most beautiful rose bush ever. So how is that that rose bush is going to be ruined? No, it won't. I do sometimes encounter people in my, in my personal consultations with people that they feel certain way, that they're doing something for the lady, but she is not either responding or she is becoming distant. Well, it only means that you are with the wrong type of a lady. Once again, most women, when you treat them well, especially most, I say, Ukrainian and Russian women, they really want that to never end. So they would show you affection, they would compliment you back, they would spend, also give you some extra attention, and they never want this to stop. Just like men never want the radiance and beauty and all this sexuality, chemistry to stop. You want this always be the same as women. If you when you spoil your lady in all the ways, she never wants to stop, and in fact that is the reason she may choose you over the other guys. Now if you do this for a wrong lady that doesn't have good intentions, that is not really deep down a very good person, yes, you will know early, though. This is the positive thing, that you will know early if she will have certain characters flaws. But most importantly, I feel that there is not enough appreciation in this life. I feel that there is not enough of genuine compliments, acknowledgements, just seeing the beauty and depth of another person. I don't feel like there is enough of that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that like, let's just even look at children. Let's look at children. When you tell your child, you encourage them every single day, and you see their success, their little achievements, they are going to thrive. When you beat them down, it makes it harder to believe and have a good self-esteem. I have a lot of female friends that are probably some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life, and a lot of them have such an extremely low self-esteem. So now when people tell them compliments, they do not believe in them. When people do beautiful things for them, they do not believe that they deserve them. And in this life, we get in exactly what we deserve. In our relationships, in our love life, and just in life in general, we usually settle for things that we think we deserve. So to stop this vicious cycle, we do need to acknowledge people. We do need to just not be stuck up and emotionally unavailable when people need us, and just tell them, I've always thought you are a great, I don't know, anything. You are great at your job. I think I shared with you guys. I've learned some things. I have a very wise friend. He's a very deep, thoughtful person. Never, doesn't matter where we go, he would always acknowledge every single person and would always look people in the eyes and tells them, "You're doing a great job." Whether it's, cashier or some manager and business owner, a friend of mine would always acknowledge them and look them in the eyes and take a minute to do that. So shouldn't we do that for people who matter to us? And women do fall in love with actions. Every beautiful woman have a variety of men to choose from. I'm gonna say this again. Every beautiful woman has a variety of men to choose from. But sometimes she doesn't have enough of action from the men's side to prove their intentions. And there are bubbles. Some men are unfortunately like bubbles. They just poof, and that's it, because they're not their actions. I mean, I love bubbles. But their actions are not following up with their words. So if you're the man that goes over, that promise little and doing a lot, and your actions speak for you, in a classic traditional way of things, you are ahead of many other men, because it's nowadays it is a rare treasure. It used to be a norm as far as I understand, but now it's almost a treasure. So that's what I would like to tell you today. I strongly believe that, whether it's, no matter who you're talking to, no matter where you are at, yeah, let's see. Okay, it's completely dark on this one. Okay, bubbles, guys, bubbles was the best. So no matter, no matter what, when you show in action, you stand out. You stand out, and no, it should not stop. If so happened that with this particular person, the things that keep developing, absolutely you should not hold back. I was so amazed to get this email from a subscriber. It's like, so if you hold back, if you stop all these beautiful things you're doing for her, so why you were doing them to begin with? So women fall in love with actions and with the way you treat them. And this is not just, it's many aspects. It's many aspects of things. It could be as, you get up in the morning and you don't make crazy noises so she can keep sleeping. Or, you take over the cooking so she can go and take a bubble bath, so she's in the mood. Things like this, thoughtful things, beautiful things, having beautiful deep conversations, with another person, trying to feel them, talking with them about things that really matter, things that you see in them. Do you know that most of us, and most of you listening, do not realize how much, how truly valuable you are? Do you know that sometimes you have so many people that value you, appreciate you for, it doesn't matter what you do. Maybe you are a teacher, maybe you work in a post office, doesn't matter what you do. but you're doing so much for other people and you have so much love from people, but you can't feel it because you're very your self-esteem was beat down so much. When people tell you good things, you don't believe in them, you almost don't hear them. I had somebody who was very close to me, who was loved by many, many, many people, but he could not feel none of it. He would feel it for a moment, and then it would be a denial, and that would be such a it's almost like hearts are falling from the sky and you have this umbrella. You know, you can't feel it. So really, same things that I just mentioned about ladies applying for a man too. As ladies, we should not also forget to give the genuine smile and do wonderful things for the man. I do believe it goes same way. It's just the things that we do, they may be different, but the principle is pretty much the same. So that is the message for today. I don't know if you can see, well, it's kind of dark, you're probably not gonna see the beautiful view I see here. Let's see. Oi, what's going on? What did I just do? Well, the darkness here, and well, it doesn't matter who you ask. I think it's the most important thing is to understand that, you know, you assign your own value, and sometimes you need to work with somebody. Sometimes you need to unlearn things that people told you. Sometimes, okay, it's gonna be dark no matter what filter I put at this moment. So sometimes you have to unlearn whatever people told you and do some work, because the most important person that needs to know your value is you. So yes, Bill, I do have a little bit of a tan, which is very strange. Okay, you know, Frank, maybe I will make a video on this about the money, the particular financial subject. I may consider make a video. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting the bubbles back. If somebody doesn't like my bubbles, it's their problem. Yeah, so Frank is asking about the money. Oh, I think, yes, because you don't need to ask, Frank. Because you asked, you ruined it. If you want to surprise or make a gift to somebody, you don't ask them. You understand? Because if you ask, Ukrainian women often are very conscious about things. So if you ask them, they feel as if they're doing something inappropriate. But if you send a gift to somebody, they don't like it, they can always not accept it. You know, that's the worst thing. But when you ask, you ruin you ruin it. I'm just saying the truth. It depends on your relationship, you know. If that's just a relationship between she's your Russian teacher, of course she probably did not want to feel that you're trying to buy her or do something, or you expect something from her. But there is a way to make a nice gift. Maybe money are inappropriate in your situation. Another thing, if she is working for you, you can prepay 10 more lessons, or you can prepay and leave a tip. So you have to be creative, because she could understand you the wrong way, as if you're trying to do something that is inappropriate, but as long as you put it in the right way, there is a chance that she will accept it. But also, she may be having principles, and she may be not, she may not. So it really depends. So with that being said, I hope that this was encouraging. I know we've been talking a lot about the world's crisis, but I would like to have a mix of things, having a wonderful time, and it's time for a late tropical dinner. Oops, just a minute, guys. So, with that being said, thank you so much for the comments. If you want to submit some questions, stories, you're very welcome to submit a story, a question, whatever you want to submit. Send it to consultveronica@gmail.com, or in the comments below. If you don't know how to send me an email, put it in the comments below if you have questions about this topic or any other. Okay. Let's see what else. If you want to join Patreon account, you can, because in a by the end of this month, it is July, we are going to have a big Zoom call. We're going to be all catching up and sharing things. We're going to be talking about travel to Ukraine. I have some information updates on that, and just having our social time, probably in 20th of July. So if you want to connect with me, comment below, send me an email, join Patreon. And thank you so much for watching, for supporting the channel. And I want to recognize Bill today for always being a appreciative supporter, moderator. I appreciate that very much. And everyone else who joined today, John Aktai, thank you, Frank. Exactly, Frank is saying, I learned to do exactly what Veronica just said. Just send the money. Exactly. Because the good woman feels guilty to say, oh yes, send it to me. It's kind of almost as if she asked you. It kind of ruins all the fun. If you want to surprise somebody with a gift, sometimes you would do something else, but when somebody is across the ocean, you want to sometimes send them the money because you cannot go shopping with them, or you cannot do something for them because they are far away, right? Sometimes another reason, sometimes they could use the help just for their life. So if you buy them an expensive perfume, that would be not as valuable as if you would send them like a tip for their lessons, because they could use that for whatever they need, right? So yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, Frank. I'm, I'm gonna read this again. I learned to do exactly what Veronica just said. Just send the money. And it could be anything, maybe you wanted to do whatever else you wanted to do. Don't ask about it, just do it. The lady can always say no, and you have to be okay with that. But most of it, I want to tell you something. When we were growing up, do you know that we were taught to reject everything? I personally was taught to reject everything. If somebody gives me a compliment, I need to say, oh, no, it's not really this way. No, I'm not pretty today. I just took a nap. I washed my hair today. That's why I'm pretty. Or if a stranger would give me, a little gift or toy or anything, I was supposed to deny this all. I was taught to take nothing from strangers, which are not real strangers, that people you talking to, socialize with, not accept anything because of the pride. You need to be prideful. And let me tell you, this is a total BS. This is total and nothing more. Hey, I have another lady on the channel, and she says thumbs up. We will learn to deny things that people want to do for us, and particularly men. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I think it's a process of exchange. It inspires men to be better and bigger and feel great about themselves when they can give, right? So therefore, ladies who are authentic, they sometimes deny or shine away from things. It's because they feel guilt, and because their parents or whoever was there with them when they were growing up beat them down and told them that they don't deserve these things. And they really do. If you feel this way, it means you feel this way for a reason. So, with that being said, I am late. Okay, just a second. I'm almost there. Almost. Okay. With that being said, guys, I wish you a wonderful night. I'm sending you some sunny, oceany vibes. Enjoy yourself. Take some time off. Think something positive today before you go to bed. And thank you for the kind words and encouragements and all the good stuff. You have ideas? Please write them below.